Peace. Brother Blacklight, we're talking about street science, and this is a Cyberspace Ministry of the Aboriginal Universal Supreme Conscious Council of the Elders. And I know a lot of y'all tune into my videos. Sometimes y'all think I'm off with my presentation, and I gotta admit I do be sometimes. Sometimes I'll be on point, but we're talking about street science, and you know that got a lot to do with the way we think in the school systems. So basically we're gonna start off talking about our mothers and fathers, and I know some of us lost our mothers and brothers and family to the streets. In the streets, we say that because the streets is something that we think we got to conquer. But we don't understand that the streets is actually a culture of city life, And you heard of the gangs in New York. I know it's a movie called The Gangs in New York. The early 1800s, whatever. Talking about the gangs and how they hustled. The gangs in New York was a hustle. That's how they made money, And I want to get one thing straight. The first video on street science, I mentioned Drusilla Dungy Houston, and I messed that all up, so I'm correcting myself with the title is Wonderful Ethiopians of the Ancient Kushite Empire. And this is a history. And this book came out before Master Farad. He was in America when this book came out, from my understanding. This book came out in 1927, I believe, was first published, and 1926. Copyrighted in 1926. And I, from my understanding, he was in the United States, but he had not made himself known until 1930. And this book came out in 1927, but they said he was over here in the States for I forgot how long, but he was here for a minute, before even before that printing of that book, this book here, The Ancient Kushite Empire. This is another book that's got some deep science, the sacred science. I'm not going to quote on this book yet, because I got to do some research on the author before I recommend this book. But quickly now, because time, we only got 15-minute time slots. And we talking about street life, Well, most players and hustlers, when I was coming up back in the 60s, who aspired to be players and hustlers, is because somebody older than us Well, in my case, you know, uh, all we would see guys pull up, and mostly Cadillacs was what was happening. We called them hogs back then. When I was coming up, guys pull up in the hog, you know. We also talked about Rolls Royces, you know. That's the ultimate right there. Rolls Royce was the ultimate. And very few people had them, especially black people. And anyway, we see guys pulling up, they be sharp every day. When I say sharp, I mean clean, or y'all say clever, or whatever. They be every day. They got on a different outfit. They had wardrobes. Back then, wardrobes was, you had an outfit for the spring, an outfit for the summer, an outfit for the outfits, not just one outfit, but outfits for the y'all call it gear now. Gear for summer, gear for fall, gear for winter, gear for spring, gear for rainy weather, gear for hot weather, extreme hot weather, and they always be matching. And not all of them was pimps and max. Some of them was gamblers, high rollers. Some of them were just had after hour joints and did some of everything. And it wasn't too many guys that was into dope back then. Heroin hadn't hit the streets back when we was watching these guys, and some of them worked out at the factories and they hustled. They worked out at the auto factory and they was pimping. They worked out at the auto factory, and when I say pimping, they had boosters, they had hoes, they had sissy hoes. I mean, they was macking. They had white hoes. They were called call girls, and they was hustling. And so when we see this, we young cats, we wouldn't see. We see the preachers like that. The preachers be clean, but we wouldn't see doctors, black doctors. We wouldn't see black lawyers like that. We wouldn't see no other professional people, nothing but the hustlers. And we started hanging around them. And myself, I was schooled by, or some of them be con men. You had guys that could play the con game. You had guys that could was slumming, sell slum jewelry, what we call fake diamonds, rings, and watches and stuff. And some of them got over off of that, they did. Street hustling. And some guys shot dice, but they were crooked dice, Anyway, to the point, there was a science to that, and couldn't everybody hang with that kind of work. And later on came drugs, and there was a science to that. The science to that was you shouldn't use your own product, and you have to be up all types of night selling. Some guys, they would close up, they call it a store. They would close up their shop, their store at 1 o'clock. But most guys, they wouldn't never close. They get it all around the clock. That's hard on a person. But when you do it like that, you got to be alert. So enters cocaine and other pharmaceutical pills. They had a lot of different kind of pills, pharmaceutical pills that the doctors were selling. This is the science of the street. Guys, they'll get these pills to go to work on and start selling them at the job. Then they start selling cocaine. Now you go out to Chrysler, the steel jungle, and you got numbers man out there. You got dope men out there. You even got hoes out there. You got prostitutes out there turning tricks in the boxcar, turning tricks with the foreman. Plus working on the land. Then you got after hours. After you get off the job, you got after hours. You got a hustle out there called check pool, where you hustle off the numbers on your check. Chrysler Fords. In Detroit, you have a 7-day-a-week pay period. Somebody will be getting paid on each day of the week, and they don't have that in all cities. And the guys would know that. You had the food stamp hustle, and the stores was in on it. The storekeeper was in on it, and they be flipping them food stamps. Now they got bridge cards. It still goes on, but it's just bridge cards. Guys, it's all kind of hustles, man. And anytime they impose a restriction on you, we'll find a way to get around that restriction and make some money off of that restriction. So this is the street science. I'm not going to reveal every last one of the cons or every last one of the hustles, because when they start getting credit cards, then you have credit card hustles. Anything they try to put on you, you're going to have an underground economy of hustling on, So, we done developed and sophisticated the street science or the street hustle or street game or street life. We done sophisticated when they sophisticated the technology. We'll find a way to make money off of it. So the game ain't changed, and a whole lot of these hustlers and players, they put the word black power on it. They come in disguised as a black power disciple of black power, but really they're a pimp of black power. But they say there's a sucker born every minute, and they don't care as long as they family being fed, as long as they being fed. And then the power, they don't look at black power, they look at green power. So you can't really get mad at these guys, for doing that, because it's a way to make money. You got to be the one that's know when you're getting played on and when you're not getting played on. And some people, they like getting played on. They like being the victim. They like being the sucker. They can't help it. They suckers. So we're gonna come back, with the street science on the other side of black. This is Black Light Out.